Was like dental health ever a concern for your children?
No, because I made sure they brushed their teeth, flossed, everything, and like I always had that stuff ready for them.
Are you currently happy with your children or your grandchildren's teeth?
Yeah, right now, yeah, because none of them are that. Just my granddaughter that I put down her teeth, she had to have surgery on.
So you mentioned that your grandchild, she went
Yeah,
under to get her
yeah,
teeth extracted.
yeah.
Was there any other options that were given to her?
Well, they tried to save him and that, and there was nothing they could do, so that's why they had to do surgery on her.
Did she go to a dentist prior to that
Yeah,
option?
she, well, yeah, her mother took her to the dentist a few times before that, but there was nothing wrong with her teeth at the time. But as she got older and she was still on her bottle juice and that's when I noticed that her teeth were starting to do that.
What are your current oral health care routines and practices with your grandchildren?
Well, when they're at my house, like I always have toothbrushes for them at my house. So when they're with me, if they're spending the weekend, I make sure they brush their teeth in the morning and at nighttime before they go to bed.
When did you start brushing your children or your grandchildren's teeth?
When they were just like 8 months old, I start wiping their gums down. When they're about 8 months, I started, and then when they started getting their own teeth, I gave them a little toothbrush and showed them how to do it.
Do you have any information available to you regarding care for baby teeth?
From the centers I go to, they talk, like a few of them talk about teeth and that, and I get information from them.
Could you tell me how your teeth were taken care of by your own parents?
My parents really didn't really explain much to me about my teeth, when we were kids. Like, they didn't really explain to us about that. We just learned from the schools and that at the time. So that's where I learned from, basically from school, how to take care of teeth and all that, when they'd always have the dentist come into the schools. Because they had that maybe once, twice a year. They had dentists come into the schools and take care of the children's teeth. Yeah, to my grandchildren and everything. Because it's basically all the same still. It's still basically the same what they explain to you now. It's still the same like it was back then. It's just a few little differences, like they say maybe there's more fluoride in some toothpaste and that. Now they got baking soda and peroxide and everything. And even those ladies told me that that stuff ain't good for your teeth, that peroxide and baking soda. Because that baking soda is gritty and it scrapes off the enamel on your teeth, they were saying.
What are some things that you are doing or not doing with your children based on what you have learned or picked up on?
I don't give them, I never gave them too much sweets. Once in a while they'd get sweets like Halloween. But basically, like, I gave them just fruit and vegetables to chew on instead of candy and that. And that helped a lot.
Is there anything that would help you to better take care of your children or grandchildren's teeth? Do you think there should be more programs or
Well, just having programs for kids to come in, like during the evenings, explaining, like, you gotta brush your teeth before you go to bed, 'cause all that sugar stays on your teeth and that when they're sleeping. And that's what eats away at the enamel and that. So that's why they say to brush when you go to bed.
could you tell me the experience of your grandchild going through the surgery?
Oh, I went with her when she did that. She was 2, or she was 18 months when she got that done. And that was harrowing because my son had to go through the same thing. And I stayed up all that night just to go with her to the hospital and to be with her while she went under and that, me and her mom. And I stayed there right through until we took her home. And she was in good spirits, like she wasn't really cranky or nothing like I thought she would be. But she was really in good spirits after her surgery. But it's a harrowing thing to be sitting there waiting, like you don't know what's going to happen. So it's just nerve-wracking when you're just sitting there waiting to see what's happening. I could have prevented this somehow, you know what I mean? It goes through your mind like, what could I have done different that would have prevented it? But as you look back, there's really nothing you can do. It just do what you were taught, like how to take care of the teeth. It's just something that happens. But like I was saying, I think it's the nipples, because that started happening. I started noticing kids going through dental surgery like that in the early 90s. Like 92, 93, that's when it started happening. Like in the 80s, I never heard of kids going through dental care like that at all. Never heard of one case like that.
What is one thing that you think that you need to incorporate more of with your children or grandchildren?
Getting out there more and talking about the teeth more to the younger kids and to the older ones too. That would help make a big difference. And the parents got to make sure that the kids do brush and floss regularly. Like, it's up to the parents too to make sure that the kids do it. You just can't put that on a kid like that and expect them to do it. You're gonna have to be there to help them make sure that they're doing that right.
What are your final suggestions or recommendations for other mothers or caregivers?
Just make sure you watch your kids brush their teeth regularly, like every night before they go to bed. Make sure they brush and floss then. That way, you know your kids' teeth are not going to have sugar on them all night long or food particles stuck in them. And that's what deteriorates the teeth.